Hi guys, Miss Yadi here. How you holding up? I hope everything is going okay over there and you're staying healthy. So we are back with part 2 of our Art Encounter at Home art series. Now this week we're going to focus on a scavenger art piece. Now what that means is you're going to go all around your house and find items you can use to create a new masterpiece. You're going to take the old and reinvent it into something new, all right? Now, let's talk about our supplies. We're going to deal with our basic supplies that we always start with. Let me show you. Remember these? I've got pastels. You can do pastels or crayons, colored pencils, markers. Remember our scissors. We always keep a ruler because you never know what you're going to sketch on a board. We have glue, and if you want to use paint, don't use watercolor, use the acrylic paint, and make sure you have a water bucket, paper towels, and your brush ready to work with that, okay? Watercolors get your paper too wet, so we don't want to use that, okay? If you need tape for something, grab the tape. But basically, these are the things we're going to be using. Plus, if you have a glue gun at home, it's going to be perfect for some of the hard objects that we find. So check with mom and dad and see if you can locate a glue gun, okay? Now, let me move this down again. With that said, these are just our basic items that we know that we want to use, right? This is a scavenger project, so it means you're going to be running all over your house finding items to put into your project. Those things can be beans, broken toys, marbles. It could be dry food such as spaghetti or noodles. It can be, let's see, what else did I use? Paper clips, safety pins. It can be logo pieces, tiny little stones. It could be jewelry. Whatever you can find at home that will make for an art piece, regardless of what it is. Now, I went and I grabbed a bunch of stuff. Let me show you. Now, let's see this. This is my collect all box. I ran around my house. I'm sure you have far more stuff. I found some, silver tissue paper. Found this little bag of things. It has a sucker and some other little thing in there. I found this so I could visualize using some of these, or maybe that face only. And then there's bells, and maybe I can figure out something to do with that. I found buttons. I found a little globe. I found these little squiggly things here that I can't manage to get out. So out of all of this stuff I found, I decided to choose certain items. Now here are the items that I chose. I chose these lento beans. I found this wrapper off of my oranges, tissue paper. I found an old bracelet, so I'm going to use those parts because I thought they were pretty cool, yeah? An empty roll from the toilet paper. I found some Mardi Gras beads. Let's see what else I found. Paper clips. Make sure you get permission for some of this stuff, okay? And let's see what else did I find in here that I wanted to use from my catch-all bin. Oh, some little mosaic things. All right? So those are all the items I wanted to use from what I scavenged throughout the house. So what I want you to do now is run and find all the items you can. Just let your imagination run. If it looks like something that you'll be able to break down and put on a board, because you're going to need your board again. Now this can be a board. This is from the back of an art pad that I emptied. It could be the back of a, cut out your cereal box because it's empty. Or if mom or dad has a shoebox top that you can take and use as your background, because we want something stiff and heavy. We're going to be gluing and hot gluing, so you want it strong, okay? So I'm going to give you a minute to start your little hunt. I will put a list of possible things that you can be hunting for right after this introduction. So good luck. Have fun hunting for all those items, and I'll see you momentarily. Okay guys, welcome back. I hope you found a lot of great stuff that you could use for this project. So I'm going to show you a few of them that I did, and then we're going to do some demonstrations on using some of this stuff that you may have discovered, okay? So here's one. It started off as a face, and then I just got carried away. You notice that I used bottle caps here. I found a stone and some nails, screw nails, and a little man here. Up here, I used my paper clips. For my eyes, I used buttons surrounded by cutouts from a tube, you know, the toilet tissue tube. And then I wrote words all around it because I was writing about staying at home. So you can also use words, okay? That's one, and that's a really big abstract one, yes? But my favorite is this one, because I really had to think outside the box. So with this one, remember I said I liked that twig? Well, here is the twig that was my driving force for my creative moment. Now I'm going to show you how I managed to get some of these things. So let's start off with my leaves. Let me put this away here for a minute. And we're going to start with my leaves. So you ready? Okay, let's set this so you can see what I'm doing. Is that good? Okay, I think that'll work, yes? Now here's my board. I'm using my board here. But before I do that, I need to create these leaves. And what I have is, I'm going to put this down here. I have this tube from the toilet paper, right? I'm going to take that and I'm going to just cut it. Okay? I just cut a strip. That's, you know, you saw that on my abstract eyes, okay? Now, here's some of the thing. This is what I did next. Then I took this and cut it in half. I grabbed a marker and I colored it green, all right? You can do this with a pencil, crayons, whatever you want, but I just got to get it colored, okay? So there's my color. And then I took that piece and I fold it in half. I have a few of them pre-done, okay? See that? I fold it in half and I cut it again. So I have two pieces, right? Then I took that, one of those two pieces, and I folded in half again. Now watch, pay attention. Then I cut a leaf. Remember, you got to point at one end. And I, oops, kind of went over the edge there. And there you have it. Oops. So now I have two leaves. You know, if we can get two of the same thing in one cut, that's always great, right? And then I'm going to separate those two leaves. Voila. You see them? There are my two leaves. Now, if you notice, I cut around, so I end up with this little piece right here. Can you see this little piece right here? Oops. Right there. All right? So now, let's go to our board. I'm going to move this aside for a minute. And remember, my stick was my driving force, so let me find my stick and my things of things. And I'm going to hot glue this down first. So I'm not going to use my glue gun right now, but if I had my glue gun plugged in, all I would do is this. Put a little dot right there and a little dot right there. You see what I did? A little dot here and a little dot there. And then I'm just going to sit it on my board. So in my painting, I had two. Let's see, can I find the second one? There you go. There's another one. So here's the second one, yes? Now, I also did something different. I took my marker where I broke it off here, and I colored that in so that it wouldn't look stand out so badly, yeah? So once I had that done, I took that little piece, see this little piece right there that we were talking about? That little cutoff piece? And I stuck a leaf in here. And I'm going to use regular glue to glue that down. And then I just started adding more. So I didn't throw away those little scraps that were around my painting. Can you see that? Let me put one on this side. Maybe you can see that a little clearer. So I'm going to put one here. And then I'm going to put a leaf here. I can put them in different places around that object. And maybe I'll put one here. And then maybe I'll put one here. Right? Uh-oh. I was going to do two on this one, but it's okay. Is it coming alive? Kind of looks real. Would you have thought that was a toilet tissue roll that created my leaves? Probably not. I really want you to take your time. Oops. Now this one, maybe I'll set it inside of that. And then take that one and put it here. And again, you're gluing these down with just regular glue. And that is what the outcome looks like. You see? Kind of fun, huh? Now, the next thing I did was I found my lentil beads. And with your lentil beads, I'm going to hold this in my hand for a minute. I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to put my glue all around the bottom of this, okay? All around the bottom of this. And I'm going to take my brush. Let's see, where's my brush? Because you want this not too thick, right? So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to spread my glue out like this so that it's pretty even. And then I'm just going to dump my lentil beads into the glue. That way you don't have to glue one at a time, okay? And there's my lentil beads and whatever path I was going to take. So again, here's my lentil beads. All right? Well, I also wanted a river. So let's see if I can do that. I had this tissue paper. So again, I took my glue, put it down, smoothed it out so it wasn't thick in any places, and I started laying my paper. And I had to do a lot of twists and turns because I wanted it to go up and off, right? So there is that, right? Voila. So pretend all that's done. You remember what it looks like. Well, then I wanted a boat on top. Remember that necklace, that bracelet I told you I found? Well, does that look like a boat? I thought it did. So I put my little boat, glued it down here. Hot glue would be good. All right. So I hot glued my boat, but I wanted a little man in my boat. So I took my paper clip and I opened it up And remember my jewelry again. It came with these little guys. So I'm going to take those little guys. I mean, that was a big item, wasn't it? I'm going to take those little guys. I put the bead over because it had a nice little hole in it. And I'm going to push that back. And then I'm going to kind of like arch his back. Does that work? Arch his back. And I'm going to sit him in my boat. What do you think? There's my little man sitting in my boat. Maybe I should do this backwards. So let's turn it around so you can see it better. That would have helped you the first time around, yes? Better? So he's sitting on the water. Let's pretend our water is in here glued down, yeah? So he's sitting on the water. And then what did I do next? I wanted some birds flying. Oh, and I put a little man over here. So again, with the paper clip and that little ball that little circle that I found with the hole in it. Whoops, I just threw things all over the place, yeah? So there you go, and I can make another. But I can do a series of things with stuff like this, you know? I took apart a whole bracelet. So maybe this is a choo-choo train or something. Should I go this way? Maybe that's my car. Hey, maybe you have, if you can't find something like this, maybe a Cheerio will do. Here, let me hold that up a little bit. See my little car? Okay. Then I wanted a sun. So I took this and I cut a circle out of it. So here's my circle. And I just didn't want a round circle. So I got creative and cut in so that my circle would have air pockets, right? So I cut a piece off the edge, then I cut another piece and discarded it. And then I cut the third piece to put in, cut another piece to discard it, and so forth. You sort of got that, right? Now, those are my birds. Can you tell those are birds? Let's see. Can you tell those are birds? Yes, those are my birds. All right, so with my birds, again, those wonderful paper clips came in handy. Let's see, can I get one off of here? Now, you may not have color ones, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be colored. So I wanted to do my birds, right? And so I fold that in like that, again, with that fold thing. But I needed to do something different. Now, maybe mom and dad can help you. These are hard to clench together with your hand. I have a tool that I use. Let's see, can I find the tool? But I have a tool that pinches. It's like a, oh, I misplaced it. But anyway, there's a tool that I use to make that. And then I took some of these little guys right here. Remember those little mosaic pieces I found? Probably scrap from a project. And I gave it a beak. There you go. There's my bird. Can you see my bird? And then after I was all done with all of that, I took my colored pencils and I created my background. You can use your crayons, whatever. Try to get into all the spots once all of this has dried in color. Now let's think about some other things that you may have been able to do. So what if I had used this instead? I could cut off some of these, and maybe I could have made a rainbow. Oops. All right, here's some things. I like those two pieces. Oops, lost one on the floor there. So I don't know, maybe this will work as the road that my car is driving on, if I had a car. So you pretty much have the idea, right? We went from the pieces that you select. Now I selected all of these from my pile of junk. I shouldn't say junk, but my pile of stuff that I scavengered. And the end result became this. So that's it, guys. That wraps it for our scavenger art project. I hope you come up with a beautiful outcome. I'm looking forward to seeing some of them, so perhaps your teacher will email me a few that you photograph and send to her or him. And with that said, I look forward to seeing you next time. Again, be safe, be happy, be patient. See ya.